Getting ready to buy or sell a home in 30, 60, or 90 days? Then check out bundleselect.com to find out how you could save 20% or more on your entire transaction. Save on real estate, lending, and title. With bundleselect.com, technology and a personal concierge are at your service to save you time and money. Bundle Select's hand-picked team of experts will compete for your business, so you'll save thousands of dollars by bundling all of these services. BundleSelect.com gives you all the control, including using your own realtor. I'm Joe Kuchera with Real Estate Radio Live, and I have been on the radio educating consumers for years. By bundling services like real estate, lending, and title, you could save tens of thousands of dollars. Act now, and this new model could save you money on your move, lower your interest rate, or cover your closing costs. Visit bundleselect.com. That's bundleselect.com.
The estimated minimum savings are based on a comparison with a national average. Individual results may vary, and the estimated savings are not guaranteed. Bundle Select Inc. is a licensed real estate broker. California Bureau of Real Estate Broker license number 004666902.
Welcome to Real Estate Radio Live, an informative and engaging podcast discussing everything you need to know about the world of real estate. Your host, Joe Kuchera, provides you with insight and guidance on how to buy, sell, finance, and invest in real estate. He also offers real estate tax management strategies, new construction advice, home improvement tips, and much, much more. And now, to guide you around the world of real estate, here's your host and Real Estate Radio Live team leader, Joe Kuchera.
Welcome in. Good afternoon. Joe Kuchera with Real Estate Radio Live. Thank you for all those that are continue to follow the show live on the live feed on Facebook. We appreciate it. We continue to grow the show on the live feed. Our objective is to always continue to grow through information and education. So we want to continue to do here at Real Estate Radio Live. We have some additional big announcements coming up this year in the next couple of weeks. Stay tuned for that. How we continue to grow the show, but grow the show more importantly is to get more exposure to the show and have key guests and more people come on the show to add value to educate the consumer and inform the consumer, which is what we are about and what our main objective is. So we have some exciting announcements coming up. I'm going to talk a little bit about a couple of those today, and we'll get into those in just a couple of minutes. Our topic today is why buyers are finally starting to call the shots. And that is, again, why buyers are finally calling the shots in the market. And we're going to talk about that. The market has recently changed dramatically. And this happens if you've been in this business for years. I'm going to talk more in a few minutes. But this real estate market, it could change a little more than a moment's notice, but it could change within days and weeks, and it certainly has done that. And I'm going to talk about that today, and how do you best prepare yourself if you're a buyer? How do you best prepare yourself and make adjustments if you're a seller? And then what do you do as a consumer? And as a real estate agent, how do you do this? Is there any changes you need to make? So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Just a reminder before we get started, for more information, you could always go to RERL-1528-Find. These are great shows where we love the fact that people follow us online and follow us on social media. But the best thing to do is download the podcast. So to do that, just go to iTunes, type in Real Estate Radio Live, and you'll get the podcast, download it. That way you can listen to it at your convenience when it's convenient for you, anytime, anywhere. You could go to our website, RERadiolive.com. That's RERadiolive.com. You get the podcast there and find out about any information you need. You could also look at the past shows there on the website. You could see any information about the preferred partners we work with and a number of different things by going to the website. And if you want to reach me during the week, lastly, it's 408-838-9060 if you want to call or text, or you could always email Joe at RERadiolive.com. All right, let's jump into the topic today, and I can't wait to talk about this. I'm excited about it because, you could almost feel that at one point it's going to come. When is it going to come? None of us really knew. But the bottom line is this: no matter what market you're in or industry you're in, I don't care if it's the stock market, the real estate market, whatever it is, it cannot keep going north forever. It cannot keep going up forever. I know some people get sucked into that and they believe this is never going to stop, and my home's always going to be worth this much, and my home's always going to be going up an average of 10 or 15% a year. No, it's not. And we have taken an interesting breather here. Now, I'm not sure how long it's going to last. I don't know the effect of it, but I'm going to talk about it now because that's what we do, and that's what my main objective is to bring this information to you in a real-time, immediate as I can when markets change. And over the last week or so, just to let you know, I've had conversations with 15 to 16 buyers that we're working with, and I've called each one of them and told them, hey, have you seen what's going on in the marketplace? Have you talked to your real estate agent about it? What do you guys think? Keep an eye on things. I gave them my perspective because that is part of my job. So in the last week or so, a couple of weeks, the market has changed. What do I mean by that? For the last several years, let's just take a quick review of it. For the last several years, most of us have seen this, whether we're working in the industry or we've been in the market, we have seen this be a predominant seller's market. Predominant seller's market. The minute you get a home on the market, there's a ton of interest, there's multiple offers, there's people bidding over, there's people standing in line, you have an open house. Before the open house even gets completed or done for the day, you have people asking about offers. Can they make unsolicited offers? When are you accepting offers? That's the market we've been in the last couple of years. And anybody that's been in this, they know that's the way it's been. Okay, so that's the way it's been. It has turned all of a sudden. It has really made a big shift all of a sudden. Now what are we seeing? Listen to this. Now we are actually seeing people holding open houses. We're seeing less foot traffic. We are seeing no or very little interest during the open house. And then here's the interesting thing we haven't seen in a while, ladies and gentlemen, for the most part. We haven't seen a situation where, let's say someone has an open house on Saturday, Sunday, and say, hey, we're accepting offers at 2 o'clock on Tuesday, right? Typically come 2 o'clock on Tuesday, they'd have offers come flooding in. Could be 5, could be 10, could be 20, could be 30, could be 40. Guess what? This past couple of weeks, there are agents that come Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever time is to accept offers. Guess what? Zero. No offers, no interest. How does that happen? How does that happen? I'll tell you how it happens. It happens because things can't continue going up forever. That's number one. Number two, there's always breaking points for people. No one really knows where it is or what it is, but there's always thresholds that people are willing to go to and come to a stop. And right now we are seeing one. Now, is there a little bit of effect because of summer vacations? Yes. Is there a little bit of effect because of 4th of July weekends? Kind of weird. And a lot of people are out of town doing other stuff with families, friends, etc. Yes, a little bit of that. There's some of that. So we could see some changes in the next couple of weeks because of that. But overall, this market is changing a little bit. And you need to be aware of it if you're a buyer and a seller, and if you're a real estate agent, if you're a loan officer. Anybody in this industry should be aware of it, and some will need to make adjustments. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about some of those. So here we are in a changing market where for the first time in several years, a buyer actually has the upper hand a little bit in some situations. I know that is weird to hear. I know a lot of people don't want to hear it. I know some people would say, Joe, that's not true. You're exaggerating. That's fine. I'll debate that with anybody. I'm not saying the market has completely changed 360 and there is no more multiple offers. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that it's completely changed and houses are going on the market and not getting interest in offers. I'm not saying that. I'm saying as a rule, percentage-wise, we are seeing a lot more ever than we've seen in years. Homes go on the market with less or little interest than we've seen in years. That's what I'm saying. Buyers, here we go. I'm excited and I'm happy for buyers. If you go back and listen to some of my podcasts the last several years, you'll hear me say over and over, be careful how you treat the buyers, be careful what you say and do to the buyers, because it's really, really difficult sometimes. It's hard, but in our industry, we have a tendency to get sucked into the hype and we forget about there's another side of a transaction, and I see this all the time. I saw it for the last couple of years. My position is always the same thing. Treat people the same regardless of whether you're doing business with them or not, regardless of whether you're accepting their offer or not, regardless of whether you're getting those financing for them or not. Treat them the same with respect, kind, consideration, and give them as much information as you can, because there is a time when it's going to come back, and if you're not careful, this is a small world, and it could affect your business. What do I mean by that? I've seen for the last several years hundreds of buyers be treated poorly. thrown aside, pushed aside. I don't want your offer. Don't waste your time. It's 10% down. Don't waste your time. It's FHA. Don't waste your time. It's 20% down. Don't waste your time if you can't do a non-contingent offer. Great. That's wonderful when you're in that stratosphere and we're in that fantasy world where all that stuff doesn't matter. But guess what? Those hundreds of buyers will eventually buy somewhere. And this is where it comes back, and this is just a reminder, and I hope that this sinks into people in this industry and the consumers as well. Remember those things. Remember those things, because this business is also about relationships. Big, big relationships in terms of the importance. So for the last couple of years, a lot of these buyers were seriously treated poorly. They were pushed aside. They were, I don't want your business. It's interesting because it's a short-minded view. It's a short-minded view. I tell people all the time, if you're in this business or most businesses, treat it like a relationship and not a transaction. It should be relational and not transactional. Because all these people will need your help or potentially could use your services at one time. Don't make the mistake, if you have 10 buyers, if you have 10 people making an offer, don't make that mistake of pushing aside 9 or 10 or not even giving them the time of day because they're putting 10% down or they're FHA or they don't want to do a non-contingent offer, because those people are going to come back and buy sometime and they're going to remember that. Now, the reality is a lot of those people, it's true. They couldn't get that home at 10% down or FHA. I get it. It's true. But it's how you treat people. It's how you take care of people. It's how you communicate with people that comes back to either reward you or haunt you. And I'm going to see a lot of the negative. I saw buyers being treated poorly. And you know why? Because we said, I don't need you 9 or 10. I have these people paying cash. I have these people that are non-contingent. I have these people putting 50% down. Great. But all these other people are now going to come back out and you're going to be making offers and they're going to be more in the driver's seat now. And guess what? You're going to have to work with them. We're going to have to work with them. This is just a lesson for all of us. I saw it happen, and I would just say again to the people in our business, the real estate agent, lending, these are all people that we want to help. And we can't help them all the time, every time. But you have to treat them right all the time. It doesn't matter. Because now you have hundreds of buyers that are coming back, and they're going to have an opportunity. And they're going to have a say in this. Like my opening statement I made here. The buyers are finally in a position. Guess what? This is the first time we're seeing this in years. Buyers are actually calling the shots a little bit to some extent. If you're a listing agent and you have a home on the market now that's been there for a month or 2 months or 6 weeks and you have no interest at all, not even an offer, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're going to drop the price? You're going to get some aggressive campaigns out there to get buyers? You're going to get buyers back in and negotiate with them? Are you going to do some campaigns, some marketing to really generate interest in some way? This is the first time in years that there's going to have to be some creative thought process put into how we market and how we communicate with people in our industry and the consumers. And good for the consumers and good for the buyers. I'm excited for the buyers, and this is why. Because I've seen the last couple of years, these poor people get beat up, discouraged, get on the sidelines. And I'm not saying that this happens to all of us. So I'm not feeling sorry for them in the sense that, oh my gosh, this is terrible. Because, they miss out on a house. They don't get the house they want. Sure, we all would like to do that, but that's not reality sometimes. So I'm not feeling sorry for them as much as I'm happy for them now, because I've seen a really tough market for the buyers over the last several years, and I am happy to see now a window being opened, and it might be open pretty darn wide, of buyers having more control of the transaction for the first time than they have in years. Now, is it going to change overnight? Is it going to be in every property? No. But percentage-wise, you're going to see this increase. You're going to see more and more buyers making offers less than asking price, making offers with conditions that they want, making offers that include a contingency, making offers that are different than we are used to seeing and dealing with the last couple of years. This is the new way, and so all of us had better make adjustments and get used to it, that this is going to start happening on a larger scale. Is it going to all happen overnight? No. Is it happening out of every property? No. But percentage-wise, it's going to continue to take place. So we, in the industry, lending, finance, real estate, title and escrow, how do we handle this? How do we make adjustments? Who do we partner with? What are relationships like? There's a lot of different things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to come back, and I'm going to now get more specific in the second segment of the show about what buyers should be doing, some strategies for buyers, what sellers should be doing, some strategies for sellers, and then what realtors should be doing, what lenders should be doing, what kind of adjustments do we need to make on behalf of our business and the consumer to be better prepared for this. This is Joe Kuchera with Real Estate Radio Live. Thank you for those that are following us again on the live feed. Stick with us. We're going to take a quick break for about a minute. We'll be back with you just in a minute.
For more information on today's program, visit RERadiolive.com. That's RERadiolive.com.
Getting ready to buy or sell a home in 30, 60, or 90 days? Then check out BundleSelect.com to find out how you could save 20% or more on your entire transaction. Save on real estate, lending, and title. With BundleSelect.com, technology and a personal concierge are at your service to save you time and money. Bundle Select's hand-picked team of experts will compete for your business, so you'll save thousands of dollars by bundling all of these services. BundleSelect.com gives you all the control, including using your own realtor. I'm Joe Kuchera with Real Estate Radio Live, and I have been on the radio educating consumers for years. By bundling services like real estate, lending, and title, you could save tens of thousands of dollars. Act now, and this new model could save you money on your move, lower your interest rate, or cover your closing costs. Visit BundleSelect.com. That's BundleSelect.com.
The estimated minimum savings are based on a comparison with the national average. Individual results may vary, and the estimated savings are not guaranteed. Bundle Select Inc. is a licensed real estate broker. California Bureau of Real Estate Broker license number 004-66902.
Welcome back to Real Estate Radio Live. For more information on today's topic or guests, just visit RERadiolive.com. That's RERadiolive.com. Again, your host for today's edition of Real Estate Radio Live, Joe Kuchera.
Welcome back in. Joe Kuchera with Real Estate Radio Live. Thank you for joining us today on the live feed. Appreciate it very much. The show continues to grow in all aspects. We want to continue to grow the social media component. I want to try to do as many shows on time and in the same time period to just keep things consistent for you, the consumers. Just a quick reminder before we get started on the second segment. A couple things I want to talk about. Number one, we try to do the shows on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3 o'clock, 3:05 Pacific Standard Time. We try to keep that consistent. We'll continue to do that so we could grow the listenership and the followers on the Facebook side and social media. We'll continue to do that. Also, we have some great guests coming in the next couple of weeks. Stay tuned for some interesting guests talking about many different aspects of real estate. The other announcement I want to make, I sent a video out last week to a lot of people in this business, my database, the business partners I work with, but this announcement I'm making, I'm going to continue to do it. So if those that are out there, those out there listening and your real estate agents, July I've selected as Real Estate Agent Awareness Month. What does this mean? What I want to do is, because of these changes in the industry and all the things that are going on, the dynamics and the competitive nature and what's happening, who's coming, who's going, who's consolidating. There's a lot of stuff going on we're talking about for the consumer's benefit as well. I would like to get every single or a representative for every single real estate company in the Bay Area to come in and talk about their companies, why their companies are the best, what are their strategies for now and for the future, what are they doing for technology, what are they doing to fend off the startups, what are they doing for the competitive nature of how the market is changing. I would love to hear from some of the managers, senior people, or owners of these real estate companies, and that's all of them. All of them. We could go through the list. Intero, Century 21, Sereno Group, Coldwell Banker. We have Alon Pennell, Keller Williams, Realty World. All kinds of different companies. Would love to hear from you. If you're listening to this podcast or this show and you're working for one of these companies, Compass is another one. Matter of fact, we do have a representative for Compass coming on next week, I believe. That's going to be great. If you're listening to this podcast and you're a real estate agent or you know someone in the company or maybe you're a manager, I'm going to send out some personal emails, but I'd love to, the month of July, have a representative for every single one of these major real estate firms come in, tell us, tell the consumers, tell the industry what's going on with your company, what makes you different, what makes you better, how are you prepared for the future, what is your plan. I would love to hear that, and let the consumers know. Real estate is a local market. It's a local business, no matter where it is. You could say you're global, and that's great. It helps in some extent. But we're talking about right here specifically in the Bay Area is where the majority, 90% of these podcasts are downloaded. The viewership on this show is right here in the Bay Area. So this is a local market. Real estate is a local market. I'd love to get the real estate in here to talk about their companies. We'll continue to get the message out. I'll send some emails again to some of the specific people. But the message is out there. The invitation is made. It's on a platter. I want people to come in and tell the consumer, this is a venue, this is a platform. Tell the consumer why your company, what are you doing to change, what are you doing to adjust, what makes you different, how are you recruiting new people, what are you doing for the consumer's benefit, and then some of the future stuff. I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to hear about it, absolutely. For more information, you can go to reradiolive.com and contact me. Okay, let's jump back in. I want to get specific about some of the changes that are taking place in the market and what do buyers, sellers, agents, consumers, what do we need to do? So on the buy side, if you're a buyer or a potential buyer, here's some things I would recommend. Here's some things I would say stay focused on. Number one, for the first time in many years, things are changing. So be careful. Don't be too aggressive or don't be too quick to jump on an offer or get into a situation where you might put yourself in an uncomfortable situation. As a buyer, if you're out there looking right now or you're thinking about it, give me a call. I can walk you through this plan. I have a 5-6 point plan that talks about the best ultimate ways to be a buyer, what to do, how to operate, the relationships, who to work with, all those kinds of things. Give me a call. Check in. Let me know. I'm happy to help you. That's what I do. Buyers, it is now turning more to your favor. Does it mean it's 100%? No, but here's what it means. There's double the homes that are on the market 3 or 4 months ago, so inventory has doubled. You have more options. You have more choices. Homes are going to start sitting on the market. This is going to give you more leverage. You just might now be able to wait to put your home on the market before you put an offer on a house. I know that sounds crazy. It may not happen a lot. It may not happen in every situation. I'm saying this is an option now. If there's someone at a home sitting over there for 3 or 4 months and they can't sell it, do you think they're going to take a contingent offer? Absolutely. If they don't, they're crazy. I mean, why wouldn't you take a contingent offer if you like the price if you're not getting any other activity? So buyers, think about again. Use the leverage that you can to put yourself in a better situation on your purchase. Maybe you offer some contingencies now. You want to sell your house. You get some credits. One of the big things I would advocate right now as a buyer, I'm telling you, this is the market to do it. Advocate credits with your lender and your real estate agent in negotiating. Sometimes if the house is sitting and you're in a negotiating, if you're in a spot to negotiate, believe it or not, it may not be best to your favor to, instead of lower the purchase price, follow me on this now. If you're a buyer, request to your agent and call me and I'll talk to you more about this, and I could run scenarios and I could show you the real numbers. It may be better for you, the buyer, to ask for a credit to drive down your interest rate instead of lower the purchase price on the home. Some people might say, Joe, you're crazy. No, because you have to be open-minded in times like this and understand your options. As a buyer, maybe instead of that purchase price coming down $20,000, $30,000, you take that $20,000, $30,000, and depending on your loan amount, I could show you how you could buy your interest rate down, and potentially, depending on the size of that interest rate, you could save hundreds of dollars a month. What if you could lock in a 30-year fixed somewhere in the low 4s or 3% range where you haven't seen for years? We haven't seen those interest rates for years. What if you had to control today? What if I could show you, through a strategic program, in a market like this, how to use credit to get a historic low interest rate? What if I could show you how to get a historic low interest rate on a 30-year fixed or another program that you or anyone else hasn't seen in the last 3 or 4 years? We could do that, depending on the situation. These are the kinds of things you have to start thinking about in a market that's changing. You have more leverage. Buyers, you have more leverage. If you're having a problem with the relationship, some people have a tough time adjusting. And I know some people don't want to hear this, but I say it because I'm here for the consumer, and I'm here to work with people that understand the big picture. And so what I mean by that is if you're working with a real estate agent or a lender that doesn't want to make adjustments or doesn't want to sit down with you and revisit opportunities and options, I'm telling you, you're working with the wrong person. You just are. And whether some people take it the right or wrong way, it doesn't really matter to me, because my job is to educate people and help everybody. And I'm saying us, lenders, real estate agent, we have to make adjustments in markets when they change. Just like we make adjustments when markets are up, down, it doesn't matter. Work with someone that's educated enough that is going to offer you the most value possible as a buyer. So buyers, you have more opportunities now. Bottom line, I could talk on a show like this for an entire hour. Simply put, as I close out on the buyer part, you have more options, you have more opportunities. Make sure you explore those. If you feel like they're not being explored, give me a call. Check with someone else that could help you, because these are some of the biggest decisions you'll make, and you want to take advantage of them. Sellers, real quickly, let's talk about sellers. How do you adjust? You're out there, you already got your home on the market, you just missed the mark, you're getting ready to put your home on your market. Now you're getting nervous because you're hearing homes that are sitting for a month or 2 months, or they're not getting offers. First of all, try not to get nervous and get frustrated, because the market is the market. And if you're working with someone that's good and someone that understands the market and doesn't panic, and most good real estate agents don't, because most of the good real estate agents out there, they've been through this before. They know what they're doing. Unfortunate part is that you've heard me say this before, ladies and gentlemen, both on the lending and the real estate side. I'm telling you, roughly 80 to 85% of people in our business don't treat this like a business and don't educate themselves on a regular basis. So be careful who you work with. So sellers, what are your options? Do you automatically lower your price right away? Maybe, maybe not. What about this? What about getting together with your listing agent and coming up with a buyer's campaign where you go after, let's say there's a lot of buyers out there that we all pushed aside and said, sorry, we can't help you, right? If there's a real estate agents that have been working with buyers, and people like myself that have been working with hundreds of buyers, contact people like us. Guess what? Let us get letters out. Let us make phone calls to those buyers that did not get offers before. And let's start a campaign and see if we can get those buyers to come back out and look at these homes. You have to get creative in a market like this. Before you automatically drop the price, offer some incentives to buyers. Seriously. If you think about dropping a price 30 or 40,000 or whatever, just throwing a number out, and instead of doing that, you could change a contract and give that buyer $30,000, buy down their interest rate, get them happy, maybe get some things in there that they want. Ultimately, you're going to have to go on record by showing that you gave them that credit. Don't get me wrong, you can't hide it. It's got to be shown. But in some cases, I'm telling you, that is better than all of a sudden saying, we dropped the price $50,000, and we dropped the price $100,000. There's a lot of different things you could do potentially to make adjustments. Now, ultimately, one of the things is dropping the price. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. I'm not saying you should wait too long or not long enough. There's all kinds of different options. This is where you should be having conversations with your real estate agent on a regular basis and saying, what now? What do I do? See, it's easy in a market where some of us don't have to work a whole lot to get these things done. That is easy. What becomes more challenging, where our job comes in, it's more important, where you really show your value, and step up in this industry, whether you're a lender or real estate agent, is when times are tough and when markets change. That is when you show your value. That is when it's time for you to step up and talk to your customers and your clients and say, okay, I've been through this before. Let's look at some options. I have some ideas. We're going to get creative. We're going to work together, and we're going to get this thing done. That's what you should be hearing. If you automatically hear, drop the price, to me, that's a red flag. If all you hear is drop the price and you're a seller, I'd second guess that. I'd challenge that. I'd say, okay, maybe, but Do we have other options? Is there another plan? Can we do a campaign towards buyers? Can we get this marketed in a different way? Can we attract someone that maybe wasn't qualified before but that could qualify now? Can we give them some credit? What kinds of things we could do, things that we can do to potentially move this property? Sellers, it's still a good market to sell your home. It is. It's just changing. So you have to work with someone that's going to be creative enough to know what to do in that situation. So sellers, get out there, stay strong, stay focused, work with your agent and your lender to come up with some solutions to move that property, because it will move if it's priced right. It might take a little bit longer, but it will move. So these are the things to keep in mind as the market shifts and it changes. And at the same time, while all this is going on, interest rates will be going up. That's why I tell you right now, one of the things that you could do as industry experts is figure out how you could get some of these motivated buyers back to the table and incent them to put an offer on that property that they may not have got before because they got outbid before. So that's some of the challenges they're having for sure. These are some of the things that you could be doing. I could go hours and hours on details, more specifics and examples. If you're a buyer out there and you'd like more help, give me a call. If you're a seller and you want some ideas, some strategies, have your real estate agent call me. Let's get together. Let's figure out how we could do this, how we could help you. If you're thinking about putting your house on the market, really be careful who you're going to work with, what makes sense, who has the experience. Remember, when markets change is when the value really comes to play with the relationships that you have. This is where it's more important than any time before to work with a team of people, real estate agent, lending, title and escrow, people involved, to make sure it's the right team, because in a changing market, you need that value more than ever. For more information, you could always contact me, Joe, at RERadiolive.com, or just go to RERadiolive.com if you need any information. The next couple days, we have continued shows coming your way. Be sure to tune in. Remember, download the podcast at RERadiolive.com. This is Joe Kuchera with RealEstateRadioLive.com. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great afternoon.
You've been listening to Real Estate Radio Live. For more information on today's program, visit RERadiolive.com. That's RERadiolive.com. Subscribe to our podcast. Discover more at RERadiolive.com.